Good evening. Welcome to our church tonight. Nice there's so many. Quite a few new faces. Always like new faces. Our medium in church tonight is Lizzie Wildwood.
Good evening.
Welcome, Lizzie.
Thank you.
And those of you watching us online, you'll be joined by Ashley Robinson in a little while. And he's now sitting in the wings somewhere, I expect. I will now invite Lizzie to open our service for us in prayer, and this will be followed by us all saying the Lord's Prayer together.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Please join me, and hello online. Heavenly Father, divine and loving Spirit, thank you so much for bringing us together this evening, both in church and online. Please send out the healing vibes to everybody in the church tonight and everybody at home and their family and friends. I ask my guides and inspirers to step forward for me this evening and bring some love all around us. Where there is empty pantries, please invite the world to fill those pantries. Where there is war and strife, please bring peace throughout the world. I leave this evening in your capable hands. Amen.
Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I will now light our church candle, and invite those of you who are watching us at home to light your own candles if you're able to do so. As we do this, I ask you to ask your loved ones in spirit to draw close to us now so that we may feel their love and presence around us. May this be the candle to enlighten us all, the light of strength and love that spreads all around the world, the fire that enables us to burn out all our pride, our selfishness, and the impurities that are within us. May it be the flame that brings warmth to our hearts, warmth to our families, our neighbours, our friends, and all those around us, and those we meet on our life's journey, and all those who need it most. I ask you now to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing energy that can reach all around the world to all the people and places that need it most. And tonight our prayers are asked for Beryl, Helen, Lorraine Jacks, Jill Millard, Richard Millard, Wendy Johnson, Frank Anthony, Maria Casilla, Rod, Sheila, Pam O'Brien, Mary O'Brien, Anne O'Brien, Pat Underwood, David Gardner, Kenneth Kimard, Marcus, Tina, James, John, Jackie, Mandy and John, Jenny S, Jenny W, Jill, Chris C, Denise, David, Maggie, Dougie, Steve B, Justin, Rocky, Darren, Claire and Darren, Talia, Freddie, Alfie, Lorraine, Judy, Jackie, John R and Zoe, Debbie, Trevor, Iris, Carol, Dave, Brett, Carol L, Debbie, Devo, oh, I've got that right, Nicola, Wesley, Jade, Tallulah, Linda Weeks, Anna David Grove, Kelly, Annabelle, Bobby, Jack, Chris, Molly, Carol, Yvonne, Reg, Pam, Alison, Bethany, Amelia, Riley, Jack and family, or Jackie, I think that is, Daniel Packman, Progression, Linda Weeks, Richard, Brenda, June, Karen, Bill, Martin, Peggy, Eve, Susan, Fran, Peggy, Veronica, Joan, Peter, Colin and Cyril, Richard, Pat, Rocky and Justin, Carol, Pat, Eddie, Ava and Josh, Dave, Miriam, Iman, Pauline and Steve, Barb and Pete, Karen and Darren, Kay and Joy. Tom, Tracy, Craig, Christine, Betsy and Bennett, Dee and David Hunt and family, Irene and Sarah, Mia Smith, her daughter Vicky and Anna, please, Fiona Rosen and family, Karen Jeffrey, Victoria and my cat, Chris, Frankie, the Bourne family, Wendy and Paul Mooley, Sarah, Brenda, Kayla, Chloe, and all the animal kingdom. I ask you now to join me in sending out love and light to all those in need of healing. Loving thoughts and prayers create a strong healing energy that can reach all around the world to all the people and places that need it most. Dear Heavenly Father, we join together now to send out thoughts of healing, love and light around the world to all those in need of healing, both physically and emotionally. And we ask it also reach and protect our animal kingdom and the world of nature that is all around us. We pray that our energy may reach those who are cold or homeless tonight, and all those less fortunate than ourselves, whoever they may be. May our thoughts and energy bring love, calm and peace to everybody. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Saviour. Amen.
Amen.
We now have 1 minute silence so that you can send out your own personal thoughts and prayers to those in need, those whose names we've read tonight, and any you may now think of in your own thoughts. And this was broken by the singing of the hymn, Gracious Spirit, the words of which are in the front of your book. We'll now invite Peter to bring us our Bible reading policy. No, you're flying solo tonight.
Evening all. Oh, what a lovely busy church, and all your angels are with you. Welcome to those online. Tonight's reading is a very familiar one, a very popular one. It's about the Good Samaritan. There is a lot in this reading that we need to pick up and use. Every bit of it is an important part of it. It tries to capture the people that were involved and to carry that into our lives today. Last week's reading, we examined Luke's The Last Supper, along with Matthew and Mark. It suggests a change, an end, and a new beginning. And I think that we can agree that there has been a great change in technology, social benefits, and social activities, but not quite some areas of human activity, as shown in tonight's reading, the Good Samaritan. I find it helps when reading the scriptures to have in mind some of our own experiences and life as in our own present times. The story of the Good Samaritan is very clear, but I believe that Jesus' teaching is love thy neighbour, and it is very important the way Jesus has set up the scene. The story is of truth that probably could and maybe still happens here somewhere today. When Jesus tells us a parable, every bit of it is significant to the teaching. Seek and you will find. He chose three groups of people to cover all walks of life at the time. There were great divisions between people, Jews, Samaritans, Gentiles, etc., shown in other scriptures. Also, the church at the same time was seriously challenging Jesus Christ's teachings, and no one wanted to get involved, as it may reflect on themselves and make an unwanted divine demands on them. One might ponder why Jesus chose a Samaritan to represent the brotherhood love. We can consider this again in another scripture when Jesus meets the Samaritan woman. The Samaritan's actions were immediately when he saw the suffering man without consideration for himself, and his love for his neighbour may reflect how God is with all of us. His love is so powerful. He always gives in abundance according to our need, irrespective of our past. God ensures all our needs are taken care of, then ensures our aftercare is everlasting. The Samaritan returns to ensure the person's further well-being was taken care of and filling his brotherly love. It comes to us from God when we fulfill God's commandment. As I said, when we read the scriptures and use our experience and consider life as at the present day, much more can be found in the teachings and the messages. Much has changed, but much has not changed. Jesus shows us many ways in the scriptures how we can show brotherly love to our neighbours. And as you give, so you will receive. As said, God always gives in abundance. Tonight's reading, the parable of the Good Samaritan, is from chapter 10 of Luke. On one occasion, an expert in the law stood up to test Jesus. "Teacher," he asked, "what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "What is written in the law?" he replied. "How do you read it?" He answered, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and love your neighbour as yourself." "You've answered correctly," Jesus replied. "Do this and you will live." But he wanted to justify himself, so he asked Jesus, And who is my neighbour? In reply, Jesus said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. The priest happened to be going down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. So too a Levite, when he came to the place and saw him, he passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he travelled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. The next day, he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper. Look after him, he said, and when I return, I will reimburse you for any extra expense you had. Which of these 3 do you think was the neighbour to the man who fell into the hands of the robbers? The expert of the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise. God bless that reading, and thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
You haven't got an itch, me.
All right.
All right.
It is now time for those of you who are watching us online to leave us here in church and be joined by Rob and Ashley, who will guide you through the rest of the service. We thank you for joining us tonight and look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Hello, folks. Good evening and welcome to the online Spiritualist service with me, Ashley Robinson, and Fundersley Christian Spiritualist Church in particular. Happy Sunday to you all, folks. Happy Sunday. 14th of June. We're in the middle of the middle already. I've had a nice weekend. I hope you have too. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and why it's been a good weekend. But I'm thrilled to be here. I'm Ashley Robinson. I'm from South London. My mother church is Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, and my sister church, where I'm the president and minister of religion, is Hackbridge. When I say that aloud, I should probably say that Hackbridge is now mother church. But boy and man grew up in and around Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. I'm a 3rd generation spiritualist. And actually, folks, I spent years telling my mum and dad, my nan and granddad, I hope you don't mind if I don't follow in your footsteps. I was very spiritual. Mediumship was, typical Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Tuesday night. Nothing in particularly woo-woo about that. And mediumship was one of the ways I practiced my religion. But different things changed in the beginning of my life, included some major challenges of my faith and belief system. And actually, it brought me even closer to my religion. I'm very proud to say that I am spiritualist. Legally, it's really important because as an ordained minister of religion, being spiritualist gives me the conferred power to marry people in our churches. And at Wimbledon, we can marry anybody. Love is love. And we were one of the first churches, I think the first church in the London Borough of Merton to register for same-sex marriages, which felt like a really fantastic thing to do. So here I am today. I'll be doing a demonstration of mediumship, and I'm going to do a bit of an address, a bit of philosophy. And if you want to engage in the chat bar, I should better see you. So good evening there to Karen and Jenny, Mandy Mills, Claire. Good evening to all of you. Christine Maris, lovely to see your name again. Long time no see. It's been a while. Paul and Fiona, Jenny, Dee, Mia, all saying hello there. And I'm thrilled to be invited to serve the church today from Fundersley. Claire Phillips, Shirley Hall, Mia, good evening to you. And folks, we'll make this as interactive as possible, particularly when I'm doing the mediumship. It'd be lovely to have you interacting with me. People say that they're pleased to do it and then watch it first time watching for fantastic. So any first time watchers then for this stream, Fundersley Spiritualist Church, lovely to hear from you. Also lovely to know where you're watching. Don't feed me too much information. We say as a medium, don't feed us information. You don't need to be specific, say you're watching from the toilet or the couch. But yeah, we've got some people there. So Nicola from Wales, good evening to you. Emma saying hello as well. And Shirley Hall. So I'm going to go into my address. It's 1855. It's only going to be about 5 minutes max. And the reason I'm telling you that is I'm going to offer a sort of very gentle and sensitive trigger warning in that I'm going to talk a little bit about mental health. It is Mental Health Week, Pride Week, and we're about to go into Men's Mental Health Day next week. And I'm going to talk very briefly about an experience of losing my godson to the spirit world as a result of his lifestyle and his death by suicide. So if you don't want to be hearing about the spiritual context of that, do come back in 5 minutes time when I'll be doing the mediumship. But I want to be able to normalize conversations about mental health and suicide, so that suicide can be preventable, because it should be preventable. So from a spiritual point of view, I very much sort of, I suppose I entitle, and hello there, Michelle from Notts and Jeff from Southport. You are not too much. You are exactly enough. So I'm going to start by asking you a question, and you're welcome to interact with me in the chat bar. I want you to think about it, not just answer it out loud, although you can put an answer in the chat bar. Have you ever felt like your brain works differently to everyone else's? Maybe your thoughts come faster than your words can keep up. Maybe you feel more deeply or more intensely than the people around you seem to. Maybe school or work or church can feel like it was designed for someone else, not you. And if any of that sounds familiar, I want you to hear something today that I really, truly mean. That is not a flaw, my friend. That is the fingerprints of the spirit on your soul. In the spirit world, there's no such thing as the standard brain. There is no template. There is no correct way to think, to feel, to learn, or to love. And our philosophy tells us that the light of spirit shines within every single one of us equally, unconditionally, and without exception. And that includes the way that your mind and the way that your brain works. Now, scientists and doctors have a word for minds that work differently, and they call it neurodiversity. Things like ADHD, autism, dyslexia, dyspraxia, these aren't problems to be fixed. They're different instruments in the orchestra of human life and experience. And that orchestra, with only one type of instrument, would be pretty boring, wouldn't it? Some of history's greatest thinkers, believers, people that changed the world, are now believed to have been neurodivergent. Einstein struggled at school. Da Vinci apparently couldn't finish half of his projects. Tesla was driven by obsessive patterns of thought. Their difference was their gift. But this is where I want to speak to you honestly, heart to heart. I know that feeling different isn't always easy. Sometimes, often, it's exhausting. Sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes the world asks you to fit into a box that just simply wasn't made for you. And when you don't fit, it can make you feel like something is wrong, perhaps with you. And there isn't. Now, I need to say something that men in particular often find it hard to hear. It's okay not to be okay. Boys, men get sad too. Young men carry pain. And for far too often, far too long, our society has told them to be quiet about it, to man up, to get on with it. But silence is not strength. Silence is just silence. And sometimes silence costs us people we love. I lost someone close to me to suicide. And one of the things his inquest confirmed that was nobody had known just how much pain he was in. But not because people didn't care, because the conversations weren't always happening. He hadn't been given, personally, enough reasons to stay. So let's make that commitment right here in this virtual congregation, that we will be those reasons for each other, that we will be the person that someone can text at midnight, that we will be the friend who notices when something feels off, that we will be the space where it's safe. And it's safe to say, I'm not okay today, mate. Spirit never told us that life would be easy, but Spirit also never said you had to carry that alone. You and I were put on this earth with our unique, brilliant, beautifully different minds. And the world needs you in it. All of you, as you are right now. Wherever you are on this journey, whatever label you carry or don't carry, you belong here in this community, in this world. If today you're struggling, please talk to someone. Talk to me, talk to the virtual audience, talk to a friend, talk to your mum or dad, ring a helpline. Just talk, because you matter. More than you'll ever know, you matter. A couple of questions I'm going to put to you by way of wrapping this up. Has anyone here ever felt like their brain works differently to other people? And how did that make you feel? Or what does the word neurodivergent mean to you? Is it something you've heard before? Do you think it's easy, or is it hard for people, maybe young people, maybe boys, maybe especially boys, but not necessarily boys, to talk about their feelings? And if so, why? And if a friend came to you and said they were really struggling, what would you do or say? What does it mean to you to be part of this spiritual community? Does it ever make you feel less alone? Is there something you wish adults or teachers or employers understood better about how your mind works and feels? And if you're happy to share that in the chat bar, please do. But there's a couple of stats and words I just want to share with you about neurodivergency, about young people, and risks of suicide. And these are accurately sourced. You can weave in and out of Google and forums, but the scale of the issue is huge. And it is estimated that around 1.6 billion people worldwide are neurodivergent. And this group is at a disproportionate risk, a higher risk of mental health problems and suicide. And that's not a small community. That's a significant part of community. 20% of the globe are very likely neurodiverse, and none of their brains think the same way. Within autism specifically, the suicide mortality rate around autistic individuals is estimated to be 3 to 7 times higher than that of the general population. Around 1 to 2% of people in the UK are autistic, yet one study interviewing the families of 400 people who died by suicide found that 10% of those that had died had elevated autistic traits. They were in that spectrum. As a mental health burden, about 8 in 10 autistic people will experience a mental health problem during their life, compared to just 1 in 4 people in the general population. So why is the risk higher? Many people with neurodivergent conditions report facing discrimination, being treated differently, bullying, harassment, being marginalized. And these destructive experiences can lead to feelings of being judged, excluded, or misunderstood, and disrepair. And this significantly impacts mental health, and it increases the risk of death by suicide. It's a silent struggle. It's one of the biggest killers of young men and women in the UK. Research indicates that approximately 1 in 3 autistic individuals report suicidal ideation, and between 15 to 25% of sample reports suicide attempts or other suicidal behaviors. Pride Week, and I just want to talk very briefly about Pride Week, because a stat that I read very recently was that within the LGBT community, having at least one psychologically safe person that you can come out to, that you can talk about love, being love, and the fact that soul has no gender only experience, reduces the risk of death by suicide amongst the LGBT community by 40%. That's just having one safe person they can come out to. And that question I asked about spirituality, about this community, I actually think that on a really good day, I'm proud of the fact that we are a bunch of misfits, united by an umbrella of similar thoughts and feelings. Okay, I said I was only going to talk for 5 minutes, and I think I've spoke for now about 7. But that philosophy, I hope you'll see, is all about the umbrella. You are enough. And you and I are here today with reason. There's no such thing as a coincidence. So thank you very much. I can see lots of you starting to share there in the chat bar, and I will promise to read all those comments later as well. But lots of you being prepared to share. And for me, that shows how this online congregation is a safe space for all of you. And I hope that spiritually you can see that we might not all process things in the same way in our brains, but we recognize those conditions of the human experience, and we're there for each other, and psychologically you feel safe enough to share. So thank you for trusting me for trusting this this team and sharing some of this. And lots of you also offering up help. And if any of you have been affected by anything I've said today, reach out to someone and do talk. Continue to talk. Talk to someone on this group. Talk to the trained professionals. All of that is really, really important. A couple of things that I touched on there, I hope that you would find absolutely compatible. The fact that the soul, having a human experience, has no gender, just experience. The gender often then assigned to the human experience around that point of conception. Some of these things I teach in my new book. I'm a debut author, folks. This is Spirituality Simplified, a plain English guide to living spiritually. It's available in the library at Fundersley Spiritualist Church. It's available in all good bookshops, all British libraries, England, Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. It's available on Amazon. You can also purchase a copy from my church at Wimbledon Spiritualist Church. And in fact, if you want a signed copy, ordering via Wimbledon Spiritualist Church means I can sign that for you. If you're watching from the United Kingdom, it's £12 for the book, which is a signed copy, and I think £3.50 postage and packaging. You can order it on Amazon, often with next day delivery as well, and you can order it across the world. So I've seen there's a few people watching, a few people watching today from all around the world. Okay, well, I've been chatting along enough. I do hope, though, based on the interactions there, that was something you could see was interesting there. And again, lots of people sharing that experience. So you are enough. Let's continue to be there for each other. So I'm now moving into that part of the service where I deliver mediumship. I'm going to keep an eye on the private chat. I think I'm, nicely being monitored by the church to make sure I stick on script as well. And I'm going to bring my communicators. I'm going to bring evidence of my communicators, evidence of their personality. So this should be someone you know. You'd be able to recognize them, know who that person is. Once you recognize who the communicator is, I'm going to invite them to give you a bit of a message. Please don't feed me any information. You're welcome to verify afterwards and say, yeah, this is the context of that. Feedback's always fantastic. But when you're saying yes, it means you're saying yes to everything I've said, folks. So please continue to do that. So my first communicator is a woman. As this woman links with me, she talks about knowing someone on the virtual congregation tonight. She talks about being a mother. She talks about being a grandmother. She shows me the letter J. J was my mum's name. So this lady was on your mum's side of the family. She is a mother. She is a grandmother. She was married. She shows me her wedding ring finger. My family name, Robinson, for the letter R for Romeo, I feel would be significant with them. Possibly to do with a significant family name. So you'd recognize this lady. She's also had a cancerous type condition. She shows me the letter C. She's passed the spirit with this cancerous type condition. Mother, she was a sister, a grandmother, mum's side of the family. The letter R, I think for a family name would be important to you. August as well. They're showing me the number 9. And August is the month of 8, isn't it? So I feel like I'm in the second week of August around a significance of a birthday or an anniversary. So for those of you on the online congregation, I'll be looking for you to say yes. You'll be able to say yes to all of this. You understand who the communicator is. This will be a woman, mother, grandmother, sister, a married woman, cancerous type condition as she's passed into the spirit world. Significance of a birthday or anniversary around August. Good evening there, Sophie and Jacqueline just joining us. Karen Gibbons, good evening to you. And we've got Angela and Laura both saying yes at the moment. So let's get some more information. So Angela, you've given me a bit of information. They've said August 16th. I felt like I was around the 9th. And 9th is more than 7. So I know I was in the second week. So would have been, I think, around the 14th as the sort of latest. We've got a few other people there. Sarah Jane Webber. Let me give you a bit more information for those people that think they can take all of it. The cancer, I think, is twofold because she's showing me two. I don't know. She's using the word infection now. I don't know if I've got two significant infections or I've had a secondary infection. Okay, right. I feel like I've had a secondary infection as a result of the cancer. I think that's what she's talking about. I don't know if it was either like a pneumonia type thing on my lungs because she was giving that sensation of fluid. I don't know if I've had like a pneumonia or the cancer has been there and pneumonia has come in as well. So I'm looking for someone that, again, just keep saying yes. If you can say yes to everything, so I know you're still in, you'll be saying yes, yes, yes. August, I do feel like I'm around the 9th. 16th isn't too far off that, but I don't want to make it fit, Angela. I feel I'm closer to the 9th. I feel like the 9 is significant. Okay, not necessarily about August, but so okay. I feel like 9 is linked to an address. So I lived at a number 9. They're showing me the number 9 on my front door. Like the number 9 would be significant around a family address. I've got a home. I feel it is like a number 9 because I lived at number 9, and they're showing me number 9 on the door. Okay, so I think you'd understand number 9 in someone's address. You'd understand the anniversary in August and the relationship with the woman. And I feel like there's been this secondary cause of infection as well. So just keep saying yes on the chat. Just say yes, yes, so I know that you're still in, and I know where we are. Sarah Jane says yes. My dad is the number 9. Angela's back. Mother-in-law was 12th of August. Says Carol. Angela's still saying yes to all of this. Just asking. And the way I work, folks, any of you old enough to remember the show Quantum Leap? I've got a bit of a waiting room in my head where I try and get people coming. So I think Sarah Jane and Angela seem to be the only 2 senders. And I think I may have 2 different communicators, and they're sort of separating at this point. Mandy Mills also says Nan's birthday in August. Okay. Right. So Sarah Jane Webber, I'm going to come to you first because I've got a woman. I've got multiple communicators now. But as reading through the names, Sarah Jane, I just had a woman say, "I know her. I know her. I know her." So Sarah Jane Webber, I'm coming to you first of all. Angela, I think there'll be a woman that claims to know you as well. Mandy, I'm not sure. Let me come back to the thing. So Sarah Jane, I'm going to have to just mute myself because I am coughing. And Sarah Jane, I think you'd understand. I feel like she was giving me the cough, although I've been suffering with a bit of hay fever. The pollen count has been really high, Sarah Jane. But you'd understand this would have been an irritable cough for me. I've got a 100-day cough. She just said that just wouldn't go away. Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane, you're saying that the number 9 was linked to your dad. That's good verification for me. And your mum's surname was Richmond. That's the family name of R. And I think you can understand everything else as well. Yeah, and she said, I know her. I know her. Okay, thank you. So Sarah Jane, I want you to look back. Why are you looking back? See how far you've come. Right. Sarah Jane, you'd understand this woman saying to you, take a breather, look over your shoulder. Look how far you have come. Look how much progress you've made. It feels like you're right in the middle of someone else's conflict at the moment, Sarah Jane. You're stuck in the middle of it, and it feels like you haven't achieved your goals. She's like, they're goals, they're plural, there's more than one. Look how many you've already achieved. Look how far you've already traveled. Look how much progression you have made, Sarah Jane. I'd want you to be able to say yes to that, and that would all make sense and understand. And it feels like it's someone else's wrongdoing. I've got some more masculine energy. Now, masculine energy doesn't necessarily mean it's a man, but within that, I've got some envy. I've got someone that's been a bit jealous of someone else, and the attitude and behaviour in the way that they've transferred that feeling of sort of jealousy has been quite spiteful and quite immature. And they're saying, like, you've got this, right, Sarah Jane? You've got this. Keep on keeping on. Important that you continue to mediate. They're not seeing it from any other point of view other than their own. You can see the bigger picture. Help them keep on keeping on. Help them keep on keeping on. So Sarah Jane, I think you'd understand this about this conflict. You've got you as a bit of a referee, as a mediator, and the progress that you have made individually. It feels like it's a bit of a sucker punch that you've taken some of this on. She was also given the name, it's the letter F for Foxtrot, but I feel like I'm a Fred or Frank. That would make sense as well with you. She was just mentioning and she was offering up some cheese and some crackers, Sarah Jane. Feel like it always is that a little drop of port maybe as well. She's just giving a little drop of port, a little cheese board, and I feel like she's giving the cheese and biscuits. She likes cheese and biscuits time, a little drop of port to wash it down. She's a fantastic host, and I feel like she's sort of making an occasion of it, getting the good port out. Would you understand that sort of sense in her personality, Sarah Jane? She's sort of looking after and having a little drink, having a little sort of tip off. It's like a special occasion. We've got the good cheese, we've got the good port, and she's kind of entertaining everybody in heaven's waiting room. And she's like, anyone for a little glass of port and a bit of cheese, a little bit of cheese, and she's making it all go. She's, quoting sort of Jesus, who fed the 5,000, was it with the 2 loaves of bread or the fish or the 2 fish and the bread? She's making it all go. She's cutting out all the cheese. She's working out how many we've got. She's cutting it all. Everyone's going to get a bit of cheese that wants a bit of cheese. Sarah Jane. So that message was for you, and I think you understand that communicator, and you said she always entertained. So thank you very much. Right, Angela Martina. I had a lady that didn't know you, who was the communicator for Sarah Jane, and then just as I thought I'm not with you, they were like, but I know her. I don't know if she's either following football or you're following football. She was showing me the Spanish colours. The Spanish, I think it's their emblem. It's like a silhouette of a ball. Angela, she was showing me on this sort of Spanish flag. As she sort of links in with you. She's talking about. I feel like I'm on my left breast, Angela. And I've either had I don't know if it's a lump or a growth or something, and I don't know if she's like talking about it cut. I want it cut and removed, and I feel like I've had something removed, and I'm trying to level up. She's making me quite fun. You're in Spain right now. Thank you for that confirmation. So she's talking about this breast cancer, this cancer type condition on her breast, and I feel I've had something removed, and I feel like I want to level up. And she was, to me, I was a bit self-conscious. She's actually got a very beautiful extroverted personality, Angela, and as she comes up, she sort of comes forward. She's a bit cheeky, even a little bit saucy with her sort of sense of humor, and she was messing around with her bra and trying to level it up, and she's just sort of joking about it now. But she said you would remember it was a lot of, it really affected my self-confidence for me, Angela. And she was talking about good evening there, Tracy Honey Jones, D Hunt, Mia Smith, good evening to you. Okay, you said she's had something. I probably didn't notice. I didn't go to my list because I'm not sure what that is. Is that to do with a reduction? She's taking me back before I was born. So I'm born in 82. I want to go back at least 10 years before that, early 1970s. Okay, thank you very much for that sort of confirmation. Right, so yeah, this woman knows you. Who's not the other one, but she is taking a little drop of pork. We've got a brilliant entertainer with Sarah Jane's communicator. So she said, "Oh, I'll have some of that. Thank you very much." Feels like she's more of a toasting glass rather than a big breast removal. Thank you for that, Angela. Sorry, sometimes with my dyslexia, I've got a neurodiverse brain. In case you didn't pick up from that chat about mental health and neurodiversity, and I don't always get things. But yeah, breast removal, plain so I got that. And that's what she was showing me. And she was talking about, she's taken a glass of port from Sarah Jane's communicator, but she's like more of a toaster. Like, I feel like I don't want to miss out on the formality of raising a glass. And I'm like, here's to you, Miss Angela. And she's like more of the liqueur sort of drinker. My nan and granddad's dog was Brandy, and I've got like a sort of brandy coloured fur with a little dog. And they had another dog called Sherry. You're saying you're a Sherry Land here, but would you understand there's an animal that's named after this a drink of some sort as well, like someone's named something? I don't know if it's, they're showing me like black fur. So my nan and granddad's dog was Brandy, and then another dog called Sherry, same color of the drink. And then they were showing me like black fur and almost like a Guinness. So I don't know if it's either the blackness of the fur was like a Guinness but with a bit of white, or there's like a nickname for a pet that was there as well. Okay, thank you. As they were linking in. Okay, thank you. Head on. Right, ball flag. So they were showing me that similar ball. You were giving me confirmation that you're in Spain right now. I feel like I've got a home from home. And she's talking about don't show the ball the red flag. Don't wind them up. Don't let them know where you are. Right. So again, I'm not going to go too much into your private life. But would you understand that she's trying to confirm what you're doing is right? Like there's some obvious behavior about not showing out to someone or something. There's an element of just keeping your head down, keeping your head below the parapet, and just enjoying that moment. And I feel that thank you that you give me confirmation about a ball ring there, and she's using it as like an analogy to describe why it's important not to wind the ball up. Let the ball be the ball, and then the ball won't show you the horns. If you want the horns, wind them up, show them the flag. And there's an element of you doing that. And again, I'm not going to go too much into your private life, but just say yes if that all sort of makes sense, Angela. And she's talked about the importance of resting, recovering, recuperating, relaxing. And we don't want we don't want your head shot at. It feels like someone's shooting. Show me like peas, like little peas, like garden peas or something. But I don't know, there's some sort of vineyard or some sort of groceries, vegetables sort of growing. Feels like someone, I don't know, it's like a younger person or a child throwing, going after. But yeah, recover, rest and recuperate. You've got this. Let that healing in. As my 8-year-old say, power of healing. It's like a free Wi-Fi with no lag. And you just need to connect to that source, allow the healing to be done, seen and unseen, the doctors, the nurses, and all the absent healing coming your way. Angela, with your permission, we'll all send you some love and some light and some healing there. But really important that you keep on keeping on with that, looking after yourself. Don't burn yourself out. Don't do it for others. Do it for you. Really, really important. She was mentioning there, I've got a Jerry or a Gerard. So my mum is Jackie, but I feel like I'm more of a Jeremy. I don't know, it's not, I'm making up names now. Jeremy. It sound like Jeffrey, maybe then. Is it Jeffrey, Jeremy? I've got a just sounding name that she was just trying to whisper in my ear there that I think would make sense to you as well. I've got someone that's very articulate. Someone's a bit of a Gerard, and I spelt with a G instead of a J, but that was the noise I heard, almost like a Gerard, Jeremy. So Gerard, I think that's the right pronunciation, even if I'm not spelling it properly. But I'm glad you understand that. I've got someone, they're quite articulate, a bit of a storyteller. And I quite enjoy it in their company. Thank you. Okay, I'm just trying to listen to eyebrow. Angela, you aware of someone that has, I don't know if they've either totally removed their eyebrows and then drawn them back in? She's like, why do they do that? It's like they've either been plucked or waxed or shaved off, and then someone's drawn them back in. This left eyebrow in particular, I feel like they weren't happy with it. Would you understand that, Angela? She's showing it to me like you would, that it would make sense to you. This left eyebrow that's sort of been drawn back in. I don't know if it's even like a mascara pen or even a tattoo line. Someone that's had something taken off. Didn't like that. Pff, that's off. There we go. And now I'll put in what I do like. And there's an element of changing that up. So, Angela, I hope you would understand all of that. Sending you lots of love and lights, knowing that there is healing around you. Surround you with this beautiful purple cloak, a sort of spiritual cloak of love and light and healing energy. And she's standing guard, holding this sword, right? And she's like, she stands for love, light, and truth. I stand for her. I've got your back, girl. I stand for love, light, and truth. And she's holding this sword up to you, Angela. So I hope that would make sense to you, and you've understood your communicator, and you've understood your message. I believe that would make sense as well. A few other people joining us there. Mia Smith, thank you as well for the feedback. Mandy, it's Jean. Okay, right. Mandy, let me see. So Mandy, you have to remind me because these things splash up so quickly. My mum is Jackie, J. My nan, my mum's mum, June. I've got the JJ. I've got the double significance of the J. So I'm not just on mum's side of the family. I feel like you. Oh, there we go. My mum was Jean with a J. That makes sense. I just worked up. We can go up the comments as well now. That's going to confuse me, so I won't switch it live. Mandy, I think you would understand. So Mandy Mills, got the MM, Mandy Mills. Mandy, you'd understand the double significance of the JJ. I've got mum, I've got a cancerous type condition, everything else that some of the community, because they're sharing war stories, Mandy. And I think it's your mum that is communicating now. Mandy Mills, I don't know if you're still here. Thank you if you are. Thank you for waiting patiently. And you're confirmed. Thank you. Your mum was Jean. And you'd understand the JJ. Okay. I don't know if that was either like a nickname, Mandy Mills, JJ, or there was this double significance. Like your Mandy Mills, my mum was Jackie, my mum's mum was June. But there's another J. There's another J that I want to place with Jean. It's like Jeannie Jean or JG Jean. It's like there's something to do with that. So like a pet name or a nickname. There's something there about the significance of the JJ, Mandy. Angela says, thank you. You're very welcome. Message from your grandmother and brother at the end. You're very, very welcome there, Angela. Thank you very much for that feedback. So, Mandy, you'd understand the significance of the JJ. I'm into all sorts of music, but house and garage music in particular. My wife and I recently wrote a Butler's UK Weekenders, for the adults. We left the kids at home with my mum and dad, and there was like a master of ceremonies. It was a JJ, and I could hear like the lyrics and all out to the JJ. Like you'd understand that you can't take the JJ, Mandy, right? Why then did I sound silly as the master of ceremonies, right? Okay, so the woman that's communicating that's your mum just said, no, the JJ's not for her. The JJ's not for her. Someone else here. It's like I think it's to do with something music, some sort of musicality. Someone's going to understand the JJ because I've got someone here who's like, hold tight, hold tight, picking out to the JJ. And I don't know if they were either involved in R&B or house and garage music themselves. They're similar, but I've got someone that is like a master of ceremonies or they're DJing, they're talking over the mic and they're like, hold tight, big out to the JJ crew, and that sort of thing. So Mandy, your mum's like, I don't know what you're talking about, JJ. What are you talking about? Get on with it. This is for Mandy. I don't know anything about this. I don't know this guy's singing. And she's waited patiently, Mandy. We would understand this sort of bit about your personality. That she's sort of just get on with it. Come, what are you doing? Get on with it. I don't know this JJ is. Get on with it. And she's just like, it's not quite bossiness. It's almost like just like school mom sort of energy. Do what you're told. Come on, don't waste time. Get on with this, Mandy. You'd understand that, and we'd understand that about her sort of personality. Boys, outnumbered. Boys, right? Okay. So my wife lives at home with me. The three boys as well. Hashtag outnumbered by boys. Just said Mandy's outnumbered by boys. Do you know what she's showing me like a hoodie? I think I brought my mum for Mother's Day. Outnumbered by boys. Would you understand the meaning of that, Mandy? And someone else is going to understand JJ. Hold tight, JJ. Reaching out to JJ and all the JJ crew. Going like it's some sort of person that's that. Mandy says, yeah, that sounds like mum. She was a laugh straight up, no messing around. Yeah, just like very direct, no filter. Oi, she's like, oi, get on with it. JJ can wait his turn. JJ can wait his turn. Okay, yeah, but Mandy, your mum's sort of giggling away at this, and she's like, she says, I only popped in to say hello, and I've had to wait 2 other women in front of me that all died in similar circumstances to me. Now I've got this bloke singing. She's like, can everyone just quiet down? I just want to say hello to Mandy. And I say, what do you want to say? She goes, hello. You're right, Mandy. I'm all right. It's like just very down to earth. Rachel's singing along with me. We're the masters of the ceremony. What does it take to be a garage MC? That's what they're singing in my head, Rachel. Mandy says, no, I've not been outnumbered by boys in the family. Okay. Rachel's just coming in there. I don't know. Rachel, someone else was saying about the bro. I feel that the outnumbered by boys is to do this like the JJ crew. It's that's to do with that. So your mum's quieting them all down, man. She goes, no, listen. She's listening to me. Stop listening to everyone else. Listen to me. I just want to say, Mandy, I'm all right. I'm all right, Mandy. September. I'm 29th, in case anyone wants to send me a birthday card or happy birthday on Facebook. And you can find me, folks, across all of social media at Ash Robinson Medium. So write that down, Ash Robinson Medium. You'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And if you're into my book, you can find a copy of my book at wimbledonspiritualistchurch.co.uk. I've got a lot of fun, Mandy, with your mum. She's not like a stand-up comedian, but she's just so funny because she's sort of thinking out aloud. She's not processing things. She's not interpreting them. She's just getting on with it, moving it along. And she's very much delivery focused and everyone having a big experience and a fun experience. And I love that. I'm living for it. I'm living for that moment, messing around with the kids, nursery rhymes, silly songs, and just having some fun. And I miss that. But I do know that you are threading me into some of those conversations. Mandy, I've never been to your house, but as I walk through your front door, I feel like I'm walking past a picture of your mum because she's like, I'm like the Queen of Sheba in some sort of, she's called it like ceremonial throne. I don't know if there's something about the particular picture that she's in like a deck chair or an armchair or something like that, but there's a picture of me. she tells me, Mandy, you'd understand this picture in your house as you walk through the door. And she's talking about the fact, keep an eye on everything. I'd like to know what's going on, and who's going on with it and what they're doing. And I know, Mandy, that you've been talking to me. You were talking to me. I think you were in the car Wednesday. She's mentioning Wednesday as in particular, saying she was funny, happy, always sang and messed around. I feel like Wednesday, Mandy, she's talking about the significance of Wednesday. I feel like you're talking to me. I don't know if you're either in a car. I feel like you're certainly in some sort of transport. You're moving forward. And Mandy, you're talking to your mum. You're talking to me. You're talking to mum. And I was listening within a right old good and natter. You are the information intelligence network for me. I'm getting all my gossip from you, from the things that I can't experience, Mandy. And she's like, I love that. I love that. I love the fact that you continue to thread me in. She's sitting in the armchair in the photo. Okay, thank you. Right, so there's confirmation of that, and confirmation that I've not been spying in your house, man. I think it's really important we let everyone know I've never been to your house. You won't see me on your Ring door camera or anything like that. She's your mum. Your mum's been there. She's the one that's telling me about this. She's talking about who are you talking to? I think it's Mandy. I think this is still your mum talking. She's like, Moody. There we go. And you're talking about mum. Thank you very much. Moody Mandy. What's she talking about? My granddad used to say a moody was like a bit of a front, like a bit of a gimmick or a bit of a role. You're pulling a moody, you're winding someone up, and they just said Moody Mandy, Moody Mandy. I don't know if you're either involved in. I don't know if it's to do with like either it's like formality of acting or being an actress, Mandy, or she's talking about your mood. It's like Storm Mandy, Moody Mandy, and she was sort of. I don't know if she just sort of like your Mandy Mills, which is like Moody Mandy Mills. And I'm not standing at miserable or mood or anything like that, Mandy, but there was something about it. And I felt like my granddad was influencing almost as in it was almost like you had the ability to have a bit of a front, a bit of a spiff. You could blag. And I feel like you've had to do that. There's an element of your masking. We're talking about neurodiversity earlier on. And I see like a mask. But this is more of like a jester mask. Like I feel like you're doing it for something. Like you have the ability to put on a front for something. There's an element of you masking, bringing yourself forward to that, Mandy. And she was talking about how proud of you she is that you have that ability. It feels like you need to put on different masks and different gloves. I don't know if you're involved in some sort of uniform service or about giving services, but I've got you about being different people. She has the ability to do that, to perform that role, to do that other thing, Mandy. That would make that makes sense, I believe, to you. But she's a load of fun. She's really cheered me up. I feel like she almost wants to like pinch my cheek as well, and give me a shave. She just said, have a shave, sort yourself out. Who's going to want to kiss you? Thank you very much, Mandy's mum. I felt let down. Okay, felt down. Thank you. So she's sending you lots of love and light. She's telling me to have a shave. I don't know what that's all about. So I'm about kissing. I don't know if she's ever giving a memory of kiss. Was it today to use, Mandy? I know that, Mandy, let's not start rumours now. I know you've not been kissing me. She's kissing me, and she's almost complaining the same way my wife does about, like, I feel like I need a bit of a shave. But she's doing it in such a sort of playful way. She's like, sort yourself out, have a shave. You know, and she's teasing me. Would you understand that, Mandy? It's like a little bit of teasing. But she's fun, and she's making me smile. Like, I feel like she wants to grab hold of my cheeks and just, come on, sort yourself out, sunshine. You've got other things going on. Okay, so she would say those things are always loved. Yeah, well, she's sending lots of love and light, Mandy, and she's giving you light. She's like, we're not having you there, Moody Mandy, sitting in the cave of darkness. We're opening the cave. We're letting some air in. We're getting rid of all the negative energy, and we're letting all the good love and light in. She's like, let's get on. Marvelous, Mandy. You're gonna be marvelous, Mandy, tomorrow, and you're gonna have a fantastic time. So, Mandy, I think you've understood who your communicator was, and you've understood that sort of love and light energy. Yeah, that was her spot on. Thank you very much, Mandy, for saying that. Right, got the right, JJ. Reach out to the JJ crew. And I'm sorry, folks, anyone listening to this, I'm tone deaf and I've got no real musicality at all. But you'd understand. I think there was a Rachel, and my sister was Rachel, and I felt that was significant. I kept seeing my sister Rachel. There was a Rachel here with someone here talking about son as well. So Jenny said, my birth mother was Jean. My Christian name begins with JJ. Okay, your birth mother was Jean. I think that other lady was Jean as well, Jenny Stafer. Christian name begins with JJ. Jenny Stafer, did your mother, I'm not going to ask you a question, your mother passed with heart failure as a result of some sort of infection? I don't know if I'm a chest infection that's led to like heart failure, Jenny, because I've just got a woman. It's like, because I was like, am I with Rachel? And I've got someone saying I'm with Rachel, and there's someone that says, I know Jenny. and I'm Jean, and okay, and she's got the same name of the other communicator's mum, but I've got a woman that passed. I feel like it was a heart failure as a result of something viral. Jenny, so Jenny Staver, if you come back and confirm that for me. Rachel, is that Dubok? Am I saying that right? Or is it Dubbock? Rachel Dubbock. I don't know why I say Dubok. I feel like the person, the musicality, like they're making all sorts of. Okay, thank you. Yeah, the phonetics. Okay, right. So with Jenny Stafer, the woman that's communicating is a woman. I believe is claiming to be your mother. She's talking about being Jean, and you're saying about Christian names JJ, but it wasn't her that was initially communicating. I feel like almost going to, almost like become a bit of a private reading. She's like, I'm all right. I'm up here as well. But yeah, I'm all right. So Jenny Staver, I think you'd better verify that understands. Rachel Dubok, is it Dubok? This guy, I mean, it's a guy, right? I've got a male communicator with me. He's talking about you, and he's a lot of fun. And I feel like he could turn life into a bit of a musical. We're the masters of the ceremony. What does it take to be a garage MC? And he's just mucking about. And it was you, I think he was reflecting, Rachel, outnumbered by boys. Outnumbered by boys. Loads of masculine energy. You had the ability to compensate, overcompensate, bring them all down. And I feel like to do with brothers, like I've got the 3 boys. And then a few of them, 1 of 4, like there were three boys, Rachel Dubok. I feel like I'm butchering your name. He's laughing away at me. He said, you are butchering her name. It's a man that's communicating. He's talking about you being the girl. I don't know if you've even done the boy's hair and nails, like you've had a full workout with them. And although you had the ability to overcompensate, I feel like you'd know how to put in a good rugby tackle. But you'd also have the ability to, to level up and do the hair. I think you're doing the hair or doing the nails or doing the makeup, something like that. Like it's a proper beauty show. Jenny Stafer, you're saying you are JJ as well, but Jean passed with cancer. My adopted mother passed with a heart failure. Okay, and your adopted mother, the JJ. Okay, Jean. So yeah, they're all up here. They're sending their love. I don't think they were initially in, but they were like, "Oh, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of J's, so there's a JJ." And let her know, Jenny. Jenny, we're all right. It's like the taxi light came on. We're all right, Jenny. All is well that can be well. And there's something about okay, there's another J. June and July. I'm writing a birthday. So my nanny June had a birthday in June, possibly why she was called June. And there's something about that, Jenny, that you'd understand. They're just like, send her a love. We're all good. We're all up here. And we're pleased for that. Yeah, Rachel. So I would know I'm not a girly girl. Okay, yes, you'd understand that masculinity. I don't mean that in a negative way. I feel like they've got the ability to have. This guy, I mean, is a guy, right? I've got to place this communicator with you because he's just making me laugh at the moment. And I will sort myself out and take a big breath and put on my big boy pants. He's like, come on, put your big boy pants on and let's sort this out. Right. He says, right, serious time. It's him. It's him. He just said, right, let's both put on our big boy pants. Okay. Right. Let me slow this right down. Christine has some hilarious messages tonight. Yeah, hopefully hilarious in a good way. If people can survive death, let's assume that humor does as well, in the same way that love does, folks. Right, you don't know who the communicator is. That's because I've not given you any evidence. I'm doing a bad job as your medium, Rachel. My one job, give you satisfactory evidence of life after death, and I need to do that. Right, so let's do that. Right, a couple of different communicators for you, Rachel. I had Jenny's communicator as well that was coming. 2 communicators for her that were coming in. They've just moved to one side. Right. Okay, just trying to slow it down. So I've got a man that's communicating with me, Rachel, that's claiming to know you, but I've got a younger male that's been the one that's been winding up. I feel like the music stuff and the garage music and all that sort of, you know her, right? You do know her. I've got a member of your family, Rachel. I've got a guy that's a dad. He's a granddad. He's a great granddad. Dad. I can hear dad. So I don't know if he's like dad's dad, but he is dad, granddad. I don't know if he's Granddad Jack. My great grandfather was Jack. My mother was Jackie. So even though it's talking about being on dad's side of the family, I feel there's something about an inherited name. Like my nephew is now called Jack. I'm Ashley Charles. My granddad was Derek Charles. My uncle's Henry Charles. So something about an inherited name, Rachel, that you'd understand with this man. It's claiming to know you. He's a dad. He was married. Heart attack. Quite aggressive, heart attack, boom, he's gone quite quickly. I'm here. but it wasn't him that was mucking about the lyrics. I've got a younger male that's bringing with him, and he's like, no, he does know her. He does know her. But your dad's met him up here as opposed to your dad's know him. He's not family. I've got someone within the family network, the family friendship network, the circle of trust. He's like, I was inside the circle of trust, Rachel, and I'm a sibling. And if I'm the brother of one of your friends, because I'm a sibling, and he's talking about, and she would be able to vouch for me. She would be able to vouch for me. Well, she's talking about you, Rachel. Take that away. Ouch. He's just given me a sharp pain by my ribs and my heart. I don't know if I've ever had some sort of impact injury, Rachel. So you understand your dad, and I think you're giving confirmation for about him. Rachel, I cannot take the Jack or heart attack younger male with garage. Yes, I can take. Okay. Rebecca Yates was just saying, my mum is Jackie and her dad is Jack too, nephew Jack. Right. So Rebecca, I might be with you next. Rachel, you can understand the younger male with the garage music. Yes, 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 you can. I've been sucker punched. I don't know if I've either been struck with a weapon or I've impact on something. Bang! It's just what? And right under my ribs. And it's taken my breath away, and I feel I've had some sort of injury. Okay, so Rachel, would you understand that with him, the younger man that's communicating? Okay, thank you. And Rebecca Yates, I might be with you next. Okay, I think I might be with you next. There's too many similars. Aneurysm. So you're saying aneurysm. My granddad had an aneurysm as well. So Rachel, you're talking about an aneurysm. Is that like a bleed? As you said that, I was getting blood bleed on the brain. I don't know if that was then him, but I want someone that's had some sort of impact that has caused this like bleed. I don't know if I've either. It felt like a sucker punch, like I've either been punched, I've been in some sort of collision, or maybe I've even like been rugby tackled. I've had this thing, and I don't know if it still was like this knock. I know. I said I was at my own inquest. I've had a look at it, and it's led to some sort of bleed. And I feel like I've had a catastrophic bleed, and it's happened really quick, and I've gone. There's nothing that could be done because it was all inside. It was all internal, Rachel. Hope you'd be able to understand that. But he's a lovely fella. He's got younger male, no injury, aneurysm. Dad, yes, bleed. No impact causing bleed that I can take. Okay. Don't tell me the answer, Rachel. But do you know what caused the aneurysm? Right? Because he's claiming to have been involved in some sort of inquest, an inquiry about my death, and he thinks that it was the impact he had, right? Not like a fatal blow, but I feel like I've had something which has caused that, and they're now saying we're 70% not certain what caused this, but it might have been when he banged himself. And then I think people like walked into the side of a desk, a bit like Houdini, and he's like linking himself for Houdini that jabbed himself. I think Houdini was punched, wasn't he? And then he had to hold his breath. And it's something like I had a bit of pain, didn't realize it was life limiting or life threatening. I've had a bleed. Okay, younger male, no injury, aneurysm, and I think aneurysm is bleed. Right? So excuse my ignorance there. No impact causing bleeds you can take. He's talking about the bleed being his reason for dying, but he's talking about an inquiry into his death. So if you don't know about that, then that's not good evidence. But if it's wrong, it was all very sudden. Okay, thank you for that confirmation of that. Yeah, lovely fella. Someone else's communicator's just come back and like making me cough. I mean, telling me to subtly move on because I'm getting a bit distracted. Rachel, lovely fella, very fond of you. I don't know if we're either like friends of friends or there's a sibling as well that you would know about. No inquiry, just a post-mortem. I think that's what he means by inquiry. Like there's been some sort of investigation, and he believes he's saying 70%. There's 70% not certain what caused it, but there was a theory. It was working theory, and I think it was when I banged myself, and I feel like I'm around my rib cage, around just underneath my heart, that it could have caused that. Because I said I wasn't meant to go. It wasn't my time, but I'd knackered my body, and as a result of that, so fragile. I'd done so many other things that wasn't fragile. That moment, I've had this catastrophic bleed, boom, and it's gone. And there's something about being a sibling. I think he's talking about you. I think he's talking about him because he's talking about her vouching for me. There's another woman involved, very fond of you. I don't know if I'm just trying to think. I don't know if he's even talking about him fancying you, or he's like you knew her, that he fancied your friend or something like that, is a bit flirtatious. Like there's, I don't know if I'm not sure if he's talking about you, Rachel, if he's talking about someone else, because he kept talking about sibling. I don't know if it's his sister, or you know someone that fancied his sister, or that he knows you through your sister and he fancied you, but he's very fond of you, very fond of you, Rachel. And he's like, keep shining bright, sister, keep shining bright, sister. So he's talking about sister. Then he's now calling you sister. And I'm just enjoying the music. I'm enjoying the music. And oh, I think I know who it is, the younger man. Okay, right. As long as it all makes sense to you, Rachel. He's at the sort of heart of the party again. He's make me laugh. He's got a very flirtatious personality, and ladies that I gave the readings to, he's talking about flirt with all the mums up there. He's like, the mums love me, and he's like the centre of the party now. And he's like, oh, there's pork, bit of cheese, and he said, I'm doing a bit of DJ and I'm doing a bit of music, and all around this sort of garage shit. I felt I'm having a laugh, and I've got this brilliant charisma. And I'm not flirting with intention. I'm just flirtatious. And I've got this like bit of a bubble. He said, no one fancied me as much as I fancied me. But I was on a good day. On a bad day, no self-confidence. And I've got a week. And he said, you knew a bit about that. I mean, you know that Jekyll and Hyde and that confidence. Right now, I feel like I've got my looks. I've got a lovely smile. I've got a real cheeky little grin. Okay, Rachel. Sending best wishes to you. He's mentioning the letter S for Sierra. I've got a Steve, maybe. The S, I can see the S for Sierra that he was mentioning, Sarah, as well. And he's like, all is good. And he's like, he's almost finishing with like, you know, there was the So Solid crew, isn't it? 21 cents to go. And he's like, Romeo done. And just like drop the mic. Like his sort of big entrance and a big sort of getaway. So Rachel, I think you'd understand your communicator and who that was. And then Rebecca Yates, I'm gonna come to you because I think with you next. You also had links with aneurysms. My mum and nan passed of one, and uncle. Let me see where I was before. Oh well, my mum is Jackie and her dad Jack Nephew too. Okay, yeah, it was the similarities and the links to the family, and the name, the letter J and the Jack kept coming through quite strong, and they were linking it to my side of the family, saying she would recognize it. Rebecca, I want to call you Yatesy, right? There's someone I know you've got Yates as your family name. It's like Yatesy, almost as if someone's calling you. I don't know if there's either some sort of team sport or event. There's someone with the name Yates, and I've got like Yatesy. And the other communicator was like, big up Yatesy, and like shouting it out almost if it's, so I've got some sort of team or spectator sport involved, Rebecca, that you would know with the family name Yates as well. Yatesy. So Rebecca, I'd like to come to you if that's okay, and I want to place this communicator. I've got a couple of different people in the spirit world all claiming to know you. And I know that aneurysms aren't necessarily linked to strokes, but I'm seeing the purple of the stroke association. Like, I feel that we've got this recognized as a bleed, and the J would be important because my nanny June had an aneurysm in her brain. She bled. I've had a blood clot in my brain, and I've had a clot. But they're talking about the fact that this was one was recognized as a stroke. It was a bleed and a stroke, and I've got life-limiting conditions, and I've got fatalities within that. I've got some dodgy blood, some thinned blood that's not collecting and glooping properly. Yes, your nickname at school. Thank you, Yatesy. Thank you for that confirmation. Love it, Romeo done. Thank you, Rachel, for that feedback. And your name at school was that Yatesy. So yeah, a couple of different communicators coming in. You'd understand one certainly linked to like the purple, almost the purple on the screen right now, the Stroke Association. And I've got someone that has done some sort of, I don't know if it's either like a moonlight or a midnight walk or vigil or something. I'm seeing the clock turn midnight. It's dark. Someone walking in support of a charity, and I think it's the Stroke Association because I can see the white of the logo on the black of that. And we've got all these sort of shared names within our family. My nanny June, and my mum Jackie, my granddad Jack, my nephew Jack. All these sort of similarities. She goes, and it's because she's in my mind. She's like meddling around. She goes, oh, I'm having a good old look in your brain. And we've got a lot of similarities. She says, and there's no such thing as a coincidence, young man. There's no such thing as a coincidence. She's got a very intelligent sort of brain, Rebecca. Like she loves spotting trends and patterns. She's fascinated by the connection between numbers and sort of names. And that you would understand the import of this. And I know you've got Yatesy, but I've also got a Becky, like Becky Yatesy. As well as Rebecca. I know you're Rebecca Yates, but I've got the Becky. Someone else was just shouting out Bex as well. I'm shortening your name. I feel like there was the man that was shortening your name to Bex. Uncle. I feel like you'd have an uncle's like, he's calling you Bex. All right, Bex. All right, Bex. And I've got someone else calling you Becky, and then I've got Rebecca Yates, and then I've got Yatesy. I've got different people calling you by the same sort of names. I feel like you're known by almost different generations, by sort of different names. 4, 5, 6, right? So I know that is how we count methodically. And she's like, I told you about patterns. 4, 5, 6 is in the telephone number. I said, what telephone number? She said, her number. She would understand that, Rebecca, in your phone. I don't know if it's even the numbers you've dialed in order, like 4, 5, and 6, or it's something to do with the telephone number in it. The numbers 4, 5, and 6. You can take all those names. Thank you, Rebecca. Who's that family? I think it's even. I think it's the 4th, 5th, and 6th numbers in your phone. It's like you were coordinating them all, right? You should have had them all on the same call, because you've had to ring someone. I looked at the 4th call. You eventually got the message, but you were trying to get hold of the 6th person, and you've had to go through 2 other people to get it. Look in your phone, Rebecca. I think it'd be in your phone. It's something about the 4th number, 5th number, and 6th number. The 4th number you called had to deliver a message for the 6th person on the phone, or the 5th person on the phone. It's something about that 4, 5, and 6. They're talking about being in your phone and I see it almost like, I don't know if it's either. Looks like an Apple phone, like mine, like an Apple iOS. And I'm looking at that and I can see those numbers there. And it's like, oh, that's interesting. And then she says, and then look at their numbers, the 4, 5, and 6, as well as being the 4th, 5th, and 6th number dialed in the phone. There's something about the 4, 5, and 6 within the telephone number. That she's calling you Becky. Becky, you'd understand. She's, I like that. She's no such thing as a coincidence, and it all links up. It all links up in there as well. And I'm in a flat, so just giving me a memory. I don't know if this is to do with my nanny June lived at flat 4, something like Egmont Road or something like that. And there's something about another flat 4, and they were linking about. We were talking about Junie or Junie, and there's another flat 4, like the 4th flat along, second door on the right, red. And I see this beautiful red, Rebecca. I don't know if it's the vividness of the door itself, which is really red and welcoming. I've got this real beautiful red of passion, but you'd understand the significance of number 4. I think it's flat 4. She's talking about second door on the right, second door on the right. You would understand that significance of the family address. I feel like I'm within a block of flats. Don't feel like I've got up. My nanny had to go up to the 1st floor to get on the 4th floor. I feel like I'm walking past the staircase to get to the second door on the right, and there's other flats above. I've got an inward opening door, and I feel there's something red within that door, like a beautiful rose is what I'm actually seeing, Becky. I don't know why I'm calling Becky. She keeps calling you Becky. And something about that. I've got yellow metal, like a brass or a gold metal on the door as well. There's a little bit of glass at the top, like a horseshoe. Is it half semicircle of glass? I've got like the red rose. I've got the door opening to the left-hand side. I feel like there's a handle there, and I'm pushing the door inwards opening to the left-hand side, hinge down the left-hand side. And it's a funny handle. It's like, I don't know if although it looks wood, it's more like a plasticky door, Rebecca, like UV PVC or something like that, because I'm lifting the handle up. She's like, you have to pull the handle up and down, and you have to lock it back up, and it all got stuck. And if you didn't lock it properly, you could lock yourself out or something like that. And she's showing me the door handle. Like, it's really funny. It's like a multi-point locking system. You have to fires like 2 or 3 locks along the top. If you don't lock it properly, you have to look after it properly. You can take the numbers and flats. Thank you very much, Becky, for understanding the significance of that evidence. I feel like this red rose and this passion within that, I want to sort of give you that almost as like a gift. Got your mojo back. She just said, you've got your mojo back. And I've got this real sense of liberation. I'm giving you the rose, and you sort of instinctively put it in your mouth, and you jump on the horse, and off you are with the horse on another person. It's like, you're galloping off, and you've had to overcome the risk. You've had to overcome the risk of safety, like I've left the safety of the castle and the nest. I've had to get over the snake, my sense of liberation. And I feel there's something about either regenerated or reinvigorated passion and I've got this friendship or relationship with love, because whenever I see like liberation in my mind and I see the horse, it's often about two lovers galloping off into the distance. But you've had to overcome a risk in order to do that, Rebecca. You'd understand, I think, the significance of why she's talking about, I'm giving that love of passion. You got your mojo back, roses, and it's almost like the is it the tango? And I've got this sort of quite dramatic moment. She puts you turning dramatically and jumping onto the horse with the rose, and I've got you sort of galloping off, like there'd be an importance of that, Rebecca, and you'd understand why she's showing me the rose and that passion. She's like, I'm glad she's got a mojo back. Wasn't easy, had to overcome the risk. Horse was spooked by the snake, had to get away from the snake, had to get away from the safety of the castle. And you know what? It was okay to take risks for fun, because it wasn't about the safety of the castle. It was about the new experience, the new journey. It's got liberation. It feels liberating. And I've got this change in relationship status. I don't know if it's to do with a friendship or with a lover or relationship. But she was linking it in with that, this real sense of liberation, Rebecca. So I hope that would all make sense to you. You can take the numbers and the flats. Chloe saying lovely messages. Thank you, Chloe, for that feedback. Mia sending love and rainbows. Thank you, Mia. Wonderful congregation of people who are sort of connecting online and ducking in and out of that. We have come towards the end of the service, folks. There's a short video we're going to show, and then I'm going to close us all in prayer. I hope you're able to stay with us for that. We'll be showing the animal cards for the week in a couple of minutes. Rebecca says, I've got my mojo back. Yeah, I can take that and taking risks. Yeah. Fiona says, beautiful evening. So thank you so much. You've been a wonderful, wonderful audience. Do go over and find me, folks. Ash Robinson, Medium, one word across all of my socials. Do think about Spirituality Simplified, my debut book, available in all good bookstores, in your local library, at wimbledonspiritualistchurch.co.uk. Back over to headquarters as we go back to the studio at the church in order to play this video, and then I'm going to close us all in prayer. Thank you.
God bless you, Ashley. Thank you for a wonderful evening. And you're absolutely right, we've got Frank's cards, so we'll come back to you for a closing prayer after that. So,
wonderful.
Thank you, Ashley. Well, good evening, friends. Great to have you online with us this evening, and still so many of you with us till the end. We're really excited to have Ashley from Wimbledon with us tonight. First time online. Hopefully, Ashley comes back. I'm sure we haven't scared him off too much. But as Ashley rightly said, we have 3 animal cards that Frank from our church draws, because it doesn't matter how hard we try, we can't get around to everyone with a message. So this clip coming up that Frank recorded earlier just gives everyone an uplifting thought for the week ahead. So let's see what Frank has for us this week.
Good evening. Our first crystal this evening is the rose quartz, and with that we have the card for the phoenix. The phoenix symbolises rebirth and transformation, and the ability to leave behind old ideas. The most powerful card in the deck. Phoenix is a mighty symbol of transformation and complete rebirth. Just as the mystical bird rises from its ashes, this card signifies the opportunity for profound change and renewal in your life. Embracing the energy of the phoenix suggests that you have the resilience to overcome challenges and emerge stronger. It encourages you to release old patterns, beliefs, or situations that no longer serve you, allowing space for a magnificent rebirth. This card is a powerful reminder that, like the phoenix, you possess the inner strength to turn any hardship into an opportunity for personal transformation and renewal. The phoenix says, each breath you take renews you. Release the old and welcome the new. You are a powerful force of change, shedding old layers and emerging stronger wiser, and more resilient than ever before. And our second crystal is citrine. With that, we have the card for the buffalo. The buffalo is a symbol of abundance and wealth. This magnificent creature that once roamed the plains in its thousands talks of the importance of aligned prosperity and abundance. On a spiritual level, buffaloes teach us about the abundance of resources available to us when we live in harmony with others. The buffalo symbolises the importance of gratitude and appreciation for the abundance in our lives. They remind us to acknowledge and celebrate the blessings we receive, whether they are material wealth, emotional support, or spiritual fulfillment. This card embodies the principles of abundant consciousness, which emphasises the belief that there is more than enough to go round for everyone. It asks us to receive the scarcity mindset and embrace the mindset of plenty, knowing that there is endless supply of blessings available to us if we open ourselves up to them. The buffalo says, gratitude fills your heart and brings peace to your soul. Abundance flows to you in unexpected ways, and wealth comes to you naturally and easily. And our third crystal is the amethyst. With that, we have the card for the white dove, a symbol of peace and purity of spirit. In their serene and gentle presence, white doves often represent peace, purity, and spiritual awakening. This card reminds you of the importance of inner peace and harmony. With their tranquil nature and soothing coos, doves teach you to cultivate a sense of calmness and serenity within yourself, even amid life's chaos. They encourage you to let go of anger, fear, and resentment, and to embrace forgiveness, compassion, and love. White doves are symbolic of purity of spirit and innocence. Their pristine white feathers and graceful presence suggest that we should approach life with a sense of openness and innocence, free from judgment and prejudice, and that true purity comes from the heart, and as we strive to live authentically and with integrity. The dove says, you are radiating calmness and serenity to all those around you. You should release all tension and embrace the tranquility of the present moment. Your heart is filled with peace and your mind is at ease. 3 lovely cards there tonight, all telling you how wonderful life can be if you just live at peace and consider others and share what you have. Thank you for listening.
Lovely. Thank you, Frank. Okay, friends, let's bring tonight's service to a close then. We'll go back to Ashley for a closing prayer, and then I'll play out the closing Vesper, Grant us thy peace, like we do every week. Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you, folks, and thank you for hosting me, and thank you to all of you lovely online congregation tonight. As we bring this sacred time to a close, we give thanks for the love, for the wisdom that has touched our hearts and lifted our spirits. We're grateful for the presence of our loved ones, our family, our guides and helpers from the spirit world, who have reminded us that life is eternal and that love knows no end. May the peace and light we have shared here go with us as we return to our daily lives, inspiring us to walk with compassion and to be living expressions of truth and kindness. We ask for continued blessings upon this church and upon all who have gathered online tonight, both seen and unseen, that we may always be guided by the light of spirit. Until we meet again, friends, may we remain connected in love and harmony. So mote it be. Amen.
Well, a very, very big thank you to Ashley Robinson for taking tonight's service online. There's a lovely address earlier, very meaningful. So if you get a chance to rewatch that, then please do. I'm sure we'll clip that up and post that out in the week. So thank you, Ashley. Thank you to our medium in church tonight. That was Lizzie Wildwood. Hope you had a good evening in church, Lizzie. Thank you to Frank for chairing in church tonight. Thank you to Peter for the Bible reading. And thank you again to Frank for the cards at the end there. Thank you all for watching and supporting Thundersley online. It's really good to have you with us. I hope you have a great week ahead. And until next Sunday, we wish you a good night. Good night.